And we are live. Happy Tuesday, you guys. Happy payday. Um, so we've had a lot going on. We had the product launches that happened over the weekend. We had Vegas over the weekend. We've gotten a lot of hints about things that are coming in the future from Jason and Paul. And any of you who are even slightly plugged in, you're picking up on the fact that a lot of the leadership team is really honing in on pushing us, pushing you guys, digging deeper. And so I don't know. I'm feeling invigorated. I don't know how you guys are feeling. Maybe you're feeling nervous. Maybe you're like, I don't even know what's going on. But for me, like I feel very anxious in a good way. Like I feel very excited about what's coming. Um, that being said, tonight we have some serious stuff to talk about. I'm kind of just gonna lay it out for you guys and call it like I see it, and not take any prisoners when it comes to what I have to say. But we've got a few things that we need to get through before we get into the meat and potatoes of this. I did do our detox drawings. I have them here. I did them earlier today. Um, you're, hey, oh, thank you so much, you guys. What's the question? Just one second, guys. What's the question? Why is it dark? Why is it dark? Because it's nighttime and you're going to bed. Night night. Kisses. Hey. Night night. It's okay. It's all right. Okay. Go with that. Kisses. Come on. Night night. Love you. Yeah. So I did the detox drawing. Um, so the customer, so the customer is Christine with a K. So if Christine with a K is your customer, I need you to resend me her invoice so that I can get her reimbursed, and we will do it through PayPal. It is Christine with a K is the customer. And then our promoter who won was Kim M. Kim M won our promoter drawing. So I will drop these in the chats later, but congratulations, you guys. I'm so excited for everybody who's been getting their products. It seems like detox is coming very, very quickly. I am so excited to try those shakes, although I'm kind of scared because I'm going to try the shakes. I'm going to fall in love with them, and then I'm going to do the detox, and I'm not going to be able to do shakes for 10 days. So but I'm super excited to try that new shake flavor. So those of you who are getting it, let me know whether you love it or not. So we did that, and I'm keeping track of things, you guys, because drop a 1 in the chat with me if you have done your compliance training. If you are not aware of what I'm talking about, if you go into your cloud office, and this applies to everyone, if you go into your cloud office and you click on resources, there is a certification center. Okay, resources certification center, and you will see that we have 3 levels of compliance training. Level 1, you get $25 in credits just for completing it. $25 in credits just for completing level 1. Level 2 is a drawing, I believe, and level 3 is another Maui Gem or $100 in credit drawing. So go in and complete those compliance trainings, whether you've already done 1 and 2 or whether you're brand new to this team and you've never done compliance before. You guys, compliance is important. I'm going to be completely real with you. There are a lot of companies out there that have a lot of lawsuits because they don't teach their people how to be compliant. And their people do and say things, or they do and say things that are not okay. All right? They might still be in existence, but they're fighting lawsuits left and right because they don't care about compliance. There's a reason why we have compliance training. We want to make sure that you are doing things in an ethical and compliant way so that not only you are protected, but your business is protected. The only way to have a sustainable business or a sustainable company is for everybody to be on the same page in the same book. Now, oh my gosh, he's fine. Hold on just a second. Let me, sister took something of his. Did it tell you guys we're recording again? I've never done that before. It let me pause it. Anyway, compliance is important. So go and do the compliance training if you have not already. I see, Rachel, you said that you had to retake it, but yes, you have to get 100% to be completed with it. So it's not one of those things that you can get, 8 out of 10 and be good to go. You need to get 10 out of 10 on every single quiz to get your compliance badge and get entered in those giveaways. So make sure you go and do those compliance trainings. All right. Who else picked up on when Jason was talking about the supply chain issues in our country right now? Who else picked up on what he said about our products? That our products are American sourced, American manufactured, and American distributed. Who else picked up on that? I picked up on that, and that is important. I am not quite sure if we're able to say made in the USA, because I don't think we can guarantee that like every vitamin or mineral is coming from the same, coming from the US. Some of those might be coming from different places. But sourced from the US, manufactured in the US, and distributed within the US. That's pretty dang amazing. I mean, supply chain, I know. Supply chain aside, I think that's amazing. And in my opinion, that's a selling point. There are a lot of companies out there that are struggling. There are a lot of health and wellness businesses that are struggling because of supply chain issues. But the bottom line is we know where our products come from. We know where our products come from, and yeah, and we're proud of that. And so in my opinion, I think that that's fantastic. I'd never heard them say that outright. Bye. Are you blowing kisses? Are you going night night? Bye. Say I'm going night night. Bye. But I had never heard them say that explicitly, and so I thought that that was really, really great. Hopefully you guys took notes during that call. If you were not on that call, I'm sure that the recording will be posted in the cloud office. Typically under company announcements, there will be a recording posted. Don't touch that, you'll turn it off. There will be a recording posted. I did take some notes, however, things that stuck out to me that seemed very, very important. And one of those was that it's the dual formula. So it's a cleanse and a detox essentially at the same time. First, your body's releasing, it's cleansing the toxins, the buildup, the sludge, all of that stuff that's slowing down our systems, and then it's detoxing those from the body. I also picked up on the fact that Jason was saying, 3 to 4 times a year. So this isn't necessarily something that you're going to be doing every month, but maybe quarterly. It's really just what you think your body needs. And that's up to you. The other thing that I was picking up on that he was saying is do what your body needs. The guidelines that he sent out, nobody needs to freak out and think that they need to go vegan overnight. I know that I keep saying that in all of the chats that I'm in, like, you guys you don't have to try to go vegan overnight. That's not what he's saying. They're suggestions. And they're suggestions for a reason. Say night night. Bye. Nope, that's fine. Thank you. Night night. But they're suggestions. All right. You do what you need to do for your body. Do what you need to do for your health. They are suggestions. Don't freak out and don't think that you have to follow that to the T. It's a suggestion. We need to be able to communicate that to our customers too, that when they get those, guidelines and things like that, do the best that you can. Do what fits your lifestyle. Do what fits you as a person. Water intake was the huge thing that he said. If you can manage to do an ounce per body weight, your body weight, so if you're 150 pounds, 150 ounces per day in water, he said that would be fantastic. And I know another rule of thumb is half that, but he's saying 100%, whatever your body weight is, do that in ounces. So that was a big thing for him. He did say ideally it would involve intermittent fasting. If he could get everybody to do it the way that he wants us to do it, it would be intermittent fasting. Skip breakfast and eat a late lunch and then do not snack after dinner. I know that's hard for some of us. Do what fits you. I'm going to do my best to commit fully to this. If I need to make some adjustments, I'm not going to be afraid to make adjustments. But he did say water intake, and then also if you can do intermittent fasting will be a big one. Now this is from me. I'm saying this. Take a before photo. If tomorrow is your first day of detox, I want you to take a photo tonight. Get down to your skivvies or whatever you're comfortable with, a swimsuit, maybe some shorts, sports bra, whatever. If you're not comfortable with that, t-shirt's fine. I'm just saying, I think that you're going to be very, very glad that you took a before picture, because when the after picture shows up 10 days from now, I think it's going to be mind-blowing. I think it's going to be mind-blowing. And then I think we need to take another before picture when we restart our 3-step system. I have a feeling that this is going to rock our worlds just on a personal level. Like, I'm not even talking about having a selling point. I'm just talking about for our health in general. I think that some of those hard to reach goals that we've all had are now going to become incredibly attainable, because we're going to get this detox through our system and we're going to have a clean slate. So I'm pretty excited about that. And I think you guys need to take a before picture as soon as possible, just so that you get it done and out of the way. Last announcement that I can think of is I know we have a lot of people down south on our team. There is a training in Florida in November. If you are anywhere near Florida, you need to make your best effort to get to one of those trainings, because those trainings are rock your world, amazing panelists. It's essentially a mini Thrive-palooza. I mean, and it's much more intimate. So I believe you're actually going to absorb more information. If I was anywhere near Florida, I would be finding and figuring out a way how to get there. Or maybe you just need a vacation in Florida. If you just want to go on a working vacation in Florida, do that too. But there is one coming up in November in Florida. So I really, really recommend that any of you guys who are remotely close to that, try your best to be there. Okay. Are we ready to get into the nitty gritty? I have been thinking about this all day. I've been just kind of mulling over just the things that, other leaders have been saying. Lisa's been doing a lot of leadership calls, for various, just a lot of leadership calls. And, I've been thinking about this a lot. And Geraldine, I see your question about Orlando. Just drop it in the chat and we'll talk about it later. So who has been in this business for less than a year? Less than a year. Drop a 4 in the chat if you have been in for less than a year. And I legit mean a calendar year. I don't mean like, well, I've kind of been in, like, or I've been a customer for more. No, I mean, have you been in this business for less than a year? Less than a year. I honestly think it's pretty much everybody except me, Christy, and Polly. I can't think of anybody else who's been here longer than that. Maybe Dina, you've been here longer than a year. You guys, if you have been here for less than a year, and I say this like in the nicest way possible, you have no context for what is slow and what is not. You have no context. If you have not been in this business for more than a year, and in my opinion, this is just me personally, if you haven't been in for more than 2 years. So I would say, honestly, Christy and I are the only ones who can tell you the ebbs and flows of the seasonalness of this business. Because in my opinion, 2 years is where you finally get a grasp on it. 2 years is when you're finally able to say, okay, like, I see things coming before they happen. I kind of know how things pan out. Like I know the planting season and the harvesting season, and you just kind of learn to roll with the punches a little bit, in my opinion. But if you haven't been in for more than a year, you don't have a context for what's going on. You have no context, because if you started a brick and mortar business, say let's start with, you open a coffee shop in your hometown, wherever you're living right now. You rent a building, you get all the inventory, you stock that place, you get your business loan, you get your employees, or running it by yourself, whatever. And you open a coffee shop, a brick and mortar coffee shop. Are you going to quit before a year is over? No. No, I don't know a single sound-minded business person that would walk away from something before at least a year of knowing what they've got themselves into. I mean, Steph, I just think about you. I mean, you have an e-commerce business that is, in my opinion, very successful. But it probably took a while to get there, and you didn't quit after a year. So, you guys, the reason why I'm saying this is because I'm not going to beat around the bush. I'm not going to beat around the bush. This month has been slow and strange. And I don't say slow and strange in the sense that like I'm disappointed. That's like I ain't scared, you guys. I've been in this long enough to just like see these things coming. And I understand the ebbs and flows of this business. However, compared to last month's volume and compared to the volume that we've done for the rest of the year, things are down, and they're down across the board. That's just point blank what's happened this month. However, I saw it coming because the holidays are kind of a strange time of year. Now, I will say this, there will be people whose businesses explode during this time of year. But here's why I'm not scared. And you've got to hear this. If you hear me say anything, if you hear me say anything all night tonight, this is what I need you to hear. The reason why these things don't bother me is because I know what happens in January. I know what happens in January. Someone who was here last January, tell me what happens in January, because it is mind-blowing. But the other thing that I know is the people who see the payoff in January are the ones who are doing the work now. If you're not showing up now, you're not going to reap the benefits in January, because all of those seeds that you are planting right now will be ready to harvest in January. Maybe sooner. I'm not saying like they could be ready to harvest next week. I'm not putting a timeline on this, but I'm telling you that January through May are the biggest months of our business. Lisa K. Fuller will preach that to you. She's been in this for 10 years. There is something about the cycle of the way that the world goes round. January through June, January through May, biggest months that we have in the industry. And I can attest to that. All of my major rank advancements, all of my major growth in this business have happened in the spring. All of them have happened in that time frame. But it's because I still worked through the times that were not fun. So the reason why I want to talk about this is I was having a conversation with Steph. I was having a conversation with Stephanie Grotchick, and we were just kind of talking about how are things going, how she can help. Steph's great about that, checking in and asking how she can help and who needs help and all of those things. And we were just having a conversation, and Steph's one of those people that I can be really transparent with, and somehow the conversation led to I will not lie, there are people on this team who, in my opinion, have abandoned their business. And they had strong businesses. Like they had very, very strong businesses. They had ranks, they had bonuses, they had it all, in my opinion. They grew faster than I did. They were making more money faster than I did in this business. And in my opinion, they've abandoned their business. Whether it's for life reasons, whether they're just not feeling it anymore, whether they feel defeated, whether they're just not pumped up about these things that are happening. I just and it hurts. It hurts me when I see people walk away, because I know that if they just ride out those hard seasons, if they just ride out those seasons that are not super fun, I know what's waiting on the other side because I've lived it. Right? It's really hard to communicate to someone and motivate someone if they've already given up. And so Steph and I are talking about this, and it really, I had to have a mindset shift. And I'm telling you this, you guys, and I'm being transparent with you because I need you to know that I am going to burn myself out if I continue trying to drag people along. I am going to exhaust myself if I continue trying to convince people that they really want this as bad as I want this. And I can't allow that to happen because there are so many of you, and I see the names, okay? I see your names. I know you're here. I know you're plugged in, okay? There are so many of you who need my energy. You need my support. You need me. So I cannot continue dragging people along and trying to convince people that they want this business when I have other people who know they do. Whether you started a month ago or yesterday, I am going to invest my energy and my time in the people who are willing to commit to the times that are not always fun. And there are some of you who are still in that fun time. You guys, I'm still having a blast. Like I'm 3 years into this and I'm still having a blast. So, I mean, people's lives are different. People's outlooks are different. People's hearts are different. Their minds are different. But like, I'm still having a blast. I wake up every single day and I'm excited to do this, even on the days when it's like, wow, well, yeah, that wasn't necessarily a win. And there are some of you who are still in those very, very new stages where everything's exciting. Soak that up. Don't lose that. Don't lose that. If you are someone who's been in this for longer and you felt like you've lost that, I recommend that you go into your cloud office and you click resources and you go to those training videos and you start watching those training videos over again. Relight that flame. Remember why you started. Why are you here to begin with? Back to basics. You guys, I have that on my vision board. When I did my interview, for those of you who don't know, I did a company interview for the video series while I was in Vegas, and I'm so excited. The guy was super nice, really easy to talk to, and for some reason we got to talking about vision boards, and he asked me what was on my vision board, and so I was kind of telling him about my vision board, and then I remembered that smack in the center of my vision board is this cutout that says back to basics. And it's smack in the center of my vision board. And the reason why it's there is because all of those things, the nice house, the ranch in Texas, the travel, the beautiful pantry, all of those things, they don't happen unless I stick to the basics. Why am I here? Who am I helping? What is my purpose? 1, 2, 3 every morning, first 20 minutes of my day. None of those things on my vision board matter unless I remember what the basics are. Because honestly, the basics are what have gotten me here. I have not tried to reinvent the wheel. I've learned a few new tricks along the way, but at the end of it, I have not reinvented any wheel. I have done what I've been taught. I've manipulated it a little bit to serve me in my particular audience, my particular network. But I don't let things go in one ear and out the other. I let it go in one ear and then I go to work with it in my hands. The worst thing that you can do is let things go in one ear and then come out your mouth as a complaint. Get to work. And I know that might frustrate some of you, and I would ask you to do a heart check right now. Like real talk, do a heart check. If you feel like I'm talking to you, then maybe I am. But if you're kind of like, I'm good, like I'm like, pounding the pavement, like I'm going at this every single day, like I'm on fire, I'm loving this. Yes, there are so many of you that are. So don't think that I'm, don't have that doubt in your heart where like, oh, maybe she's talking to me. No, if I'm talking to you. Point blank. Like if I'm talking to you. And if I'm not talking to you and you're on fire and everything is fantastic and you're so excited, that's awesome. But still, don't let this go in one ear and out the other. Understand that there are going to be times where you feel defeated. There are going to be times when you feel like you're talking into a void, right? There are going to be those times. But don't let that extinguish the flame. Go back to the basics. Why did you start? Why did you even care to message the person that enrolled you in the first place? What was that person talking about that brought you here? Maybe you should be talking about that because maybe that same person is watching you now. What was the thing that made you reach out? What was the post that made you finally respond? What's the thing that person said that gave you enough confidence to join this business? Think about those things. Go back to the basics because like I said, you guys, you are responsible for your own success. You really are. You can't control the ebbs and the flows of your business. That just happens. That's just a fact of life. I mean, that happens in any industry. I don't know if you guys were on Lisa's 200K Zoom today, but I chimed in on that. When I was growing up, my parents owned a brick and mortar business, and we paid our bills during October, November, December, and the first week of January for New Year's, because we did like kind of catering type stuff. But during the summer, we weren't making no money. We were paying the bills, but like we weren't making an income. We made an income during those 3 busy months. And guess what? My mom knew that. She handled the books accordingly. So this happens in every single industry. You will have ebbs and flows. And I am telling you that I have seen it, the ebbs and flows of the business that we are in, the industry that we are in. January, it's go time. It is go time in January, and it doesn't stop until May. I think that honestly, we saw an extended busy time because honestly, I expected September to be kind of like wah wah, but it wasn't. Now we're seeing that ebb and flow happen. So I cannot convince you that you want this. And I cannot continue to drag dead weight. You have to decide if you are going to show up for yourself. If you are going to look in the mirror, if you are going to look at that vision board, if you are going to tap into whatever you need to tap into to show up when it does feel like you're talking to the abyss, because I promise you're not. It might be January until that person messages you. And I mean, Patsy, I just use you as an example. You messaged me in January. You started this business in January, and you had been watching me for 6 months. Never once did you comment on a post, never once did you comment on a live, and never once did you vote on a poll. And then voila, in January of 2021, you decided to join this business and you came in and you grabbed a $12,000 bonus in your first 4 months. So let me tell you this. If you stop talking now, you're missing out on that person who's going to be ready on January 17th. Are you willing to miss out on that for their sake and for yours? Because if you stop talking, they're going to stop listening. You might not even know that they're listening right now, but they are. You have to keep going for the sake of what will happen when it's time to harvest those seeds. There's always an ebb and flow. I was having a conversation with Kenneth, and it was a hard conversation, but he made me realize something. And we were sitting there talking about this ebb and flow, and I mean, he gets it. I talk about my business with him all the time, and we were having this beautiful dinner, and we're sitting there and just kind of talking about, the fact that, again, kind of what I was talking about with Steph is just like, I have these people that I feel like, they were huge key players in my organization, and then they just disappeared. And it has nothing to do with rank. So I'm not talking about like a rank specific. Guys, there are just certain personalities that excel in this. There are certain personalities that uplift me as a leader. There are certain personalities that just make this worthwhile, even when, we're not seeing a whole lot of action. And I just remember telling him, I feel like I have these key players and they're just gone. Like, life happens, I get it, but like I've had life happen too. Like, I had a baby. I did all of these things all while working this business. And he kind of looked at me and he's like, "Well, you realize if they were key players, they wouldn't be gone." And it was like, oof, that hurts. But he's right. Key players don't disappear. Key players don't disappear. If you are going to be a key player for your organization, you don't disappear. You just don't. You show up. Even when it's not always fun to show up, because that tenacity and that resiliency are the things that separate the wheat from the chaff in this industry. Okay, can you imagine, we have 200K leaders in this company that are millionaire award recipients. And there were times during their organization where they had an 80K leg, just walk away. Walk away. Can you imagine how devastating that would be? And yet, guess what? They're still here because they have that tenacity. I mean, you can cry, you can get upset, you can get frustrated, pound it out on the pavement if you need to go for a run, or scream in the shower. I don't care. Do what you need to do, but you take a deep breath and you have that resiliency to keep going, because key players don't disappear. They might need to take a step back and take a deep breath, but they don't disappear. Leaders don't disappear. And I can tell you that for a fact, because early on in my business, within the first year of my business, I disappeared. And you can say that I was a leader because I had a team underneath me. I wasn't a leader. I wasn't a leader. I didn't deserve that title. I was not a leader. I was not a leader, and I disappeared. But guess what? When I came back, I took leadership seriously, and I will hope that the few people who were here during that comeback season for me can attest to the fact that I have been a leader every single day since. And I will stand on that hill, and I will die on that hill. I have been a leader every single day since I came back. When I left, I wasn't a leader, but when I made the decision that I was going to come back and I was going to be the person that my team deserved, even though I had a itty bitty little team at the time and I had to regain their trust and do all of those things, I said, you know what? I'm going to be the leader that my team 4 years from now disappears, or deserves, not disappears, deserves. I'm going to be the leader that my team 4 years from now deserves. And I have been that leader, and I have gotten better every single day. And I have gone through the ebbs and flows. I went through slow season last year. Anyone who was here during that season last year, oh, it was infuriating for all of us. It was infuriating for all of us, but we all know what happened in January. Hallelujah. We saw what happened in January. We listened to Lisa and we put on our big girl panties and we trudged through the holidays. And it wasn't terrible, honestly. Like at the end of the day, we were still like, it wasn't terrible. We were still earning an income. We were still getting our products for free. But like we had just gone 40K for the first time. And then the holiday season hit and we're like, what happened? Where'd everybody go? Like it was hard. And then we're sitting there thinking like, is this it? Is this the end? Is it over? And then January hit and it was like, Lisa was right. Lisa was right. If we show up and we put in the work, amazing things happen. Wow, who would have thought that the lady that's making millions of dollars in this industry for the past 10 years actually knows what she's talking about? Now, I'm not making as much money as Lisa K. Fuller, and I haven't been in this for as long as Lisa K. Fuller's, but I can tell you that the people who do the work are going to be the ones who reap the reward by building strong teams, by signing the right people, not the right now people. You don't just want to build any team. You want to build a good team. You want to build a strong team. You want to build a loyal team. The people who are doing the diligent work are the ones who are going to build those teams. Anybody can come in here and sign their brother, sister, and their uncle and all their dogs. Like anybody can do that and go 4K in a month. Anybody can do that. It requires building a solid team to be sustainable in this business. But the people who are showing up and absorbing the information that's being provided for them, that are keeping that flame alive, that are strengthening that resiliency that they have, those are the people who are going to build those teams. Start turning yourself into the leader that your team will want in 5 years. I don't care if you haven't signed a single person. You better start acting like that leader. And I think I think this is the last thing that I will say about that is look at the leaders that inspire you. What is it about them that inspires you? What is it about the leaders that inspire you? And it's different for everybody. Okay. Now, I have way more leaders that inspire me now than when I started, just because I've been exposed to so many of them and I know them personally now. But when I first started, for me, it was Brittany and Steph. And it was for two very different reasons. The reason why I admired Brittany was because her social media was always on point. The woman had a following. Okay. I have always tried to have a platform. I have always tried to create a community. I have always tried to be inspirational. Okay. It's something that I feel called to. And Brittany was doing that. She was creating loyalty before she was even signing someone as a promoter. Before someone even clicked the promoter, that person felt safe and respected and secure and loyal to Brittany. That's a leadership quality. And then Steph, I admired Steph because Steph would give you the shirt off her back. She would do anything to see you be successful. Anything. I promise you, if I called Steph right now and said, Steph, my life's falling apart. I can't do any of this right now. I can't do it. She'd be like, "Okay, where's the closest airport?" And she would get on a plane and she would come to me. And it's got nothing to do with our businesses. That's just the kind of person she is. I would do anything for Steph because I know that's the kind of person she is. Again, that's a leadership quality. Some of those things you already have inside of you, but so many of those things you have to learn how to develop them. When I came back to this business and I said, I'm going to be the leader that my team deserves, I learned how to be selfless, while still being ambitious. I would do anything for you guys. But I also am still ambitious for my own goals. I learned how to read people and understand who's here and who's not. And I learned how to motivate people and speak your guys' love languages. You know, I don't do incentives for my own health. I do it because I want you guys to feel like you are honored and you are respected and you are appreciated, and everybody's love language is different. Okay. But I learned how to develop those things over time. And when I started developing them, I didn't have a very big team. I had to build that team. But here's the thing, when someone joins my team, now they have a leader. I know that. You have to start developing that leader within yourself now. And it's not all action. There's a lot of action that goes into being a leader, you know, doing incentives and checking in with people and doing the follow-ups, but a lot of it's inside. A lot of it is being able to look at yourself and be like, okay, would I want to follow me? Am I doing the things that I'm asking my people to do? You know, Kenneth, a completely different perspective, but you know, this sounds super strange. So, Kenneth, one of the jobs that Kenneth has had in his life was he was actually the manager of a dairy farm that was on a prison within a prison. So South Carolina is one of the few prison systems that still has prison farms. Okay, so there's a dairy, and the inmates are the ones who manage the dairy essentially. Well, Kenneth was the person who was overseeing this. So literally all his employees are unpaid inmates in a federal penitentiary. Okay, like they don't have to be there, they don't have to do a good job, but he was one of the most liked and most well respected supervisors in the entire system in South Carolina. And the reason was is he never asked anybody to do anything that he wasn't willing to do himself. A lot of managers would sit up in the office and watch the inmates do the work. He was in the milking parlor doing it with them. He was doing the dirty work, and he was happy to do it. Your business is the same way. Nobody wants to follow someone that they can't visibly see them doing the do. Nobody wants to follow someone who they can't see that their success is, that their work is paying off. You know, a lot of times, you guys, leaders don't share what this business has done for them to like toot their own horn. Like, that's not the point. The point is to show you guys that we've worked our butts off. We've worked our butts off. We've sacrificed a lot of time. We've sacrificed a lot of energy. We put a lot of effort. All of those things. But guess what? They paid off. If you do the hard work, you get the good reward. But those are leadership skills. People need to understand that you're doing the work. I noticed, and I'll end on this. I know I'm rambling. Hopefully I haven't gone over time. Oh, I'm doing pretty good. So I noticed, and I don't know if she still is, somebody will have to check me. Did anybody else notice that Maria Dillard is on the leaderboard? She's pretty close to the top too. Maria Dillard is on the leaderboard. For those of you who don't know, Maria Dillard, she is technically one of your uplines. She's pretty far up there. But she is literally the top earner in our company. She is the only 8-figure earner in our company, meaning that she has earned 8 figures in commissions. The woman makes multi-millions of dollars per year on Thrive. She literally has mailbox money. She don't have to do a dang thing. The organization that she has built is so strong that she could literally kick back on her beautiful ranch in Texas that Thrive paid for and peace out. She could do that. She could do that and continue to make millions of dollars a year. The woman is on the leaderboard. The top earner in this company is busting her butt to get on a leaderboard that she doesn't even need to be on. That's leadership. That's leadership. Go look at her PPA PV. It's like over $5,000 for the month. Those are personally enrolled people. It's not people under her that are working for her. No, she's doing that work. She's enrolling new people. She's helping new people hit VIP 800. She's helping new people go 4K, 12K, all of those things. This woman could literally piece out and still make over $1 million a year. And she's over here busting her butt and making it on a leaderboard. That's leadership. That's leadership. Think about what that says about that person. She is working her business. The fire is still alive. She still has a passion for helping other people do what she has done. That's leadership. That's a leadership quality. And it's got nothing to do with income. Because frankly, Maria doesn't need any more income. She's set. She's good. Her kids are good. Her grandkids are good. Like, they're good. It's not about income. It's a quality that she has developed in herself, that she knows how to do this and she knows how to make this work. And now she's teaching other people how to do this and make this work. That's what I want for you guys. I'm nowhere near as successful as Maria, but I want to show you and I want to teach you how to do what I've done with our organization. I want to see you do what we've done with our organization, but I can't do that unless you're showing up and doing the work. And you're in it, even when it's not fun. And you're in it, even when it's hard. And you're in it, even when it ebbs and flows. And it feels like you're talking into the abyss, because I promise you're not talking into the abyss. Someone is listening. They're just not ready to call back. They're just not ready to speak up. But you have to keep talking, because if you stop talking, they'll stop listening. But eventually they're going to be willing to respond. Laura, I'm glad you brought up retreat, and we're going to end on that. Brittany's retreat, we still don't know where it is. And it's getting ridiculous. No, really. I think she's going to tell us soon. I actually told her not to tell us yet. She was thinking about telling us. You guys are going to kill me, but I actually told her to wait. So Brittany's retreat is the qualifications. She did not want to do anything as far as qualification went while the 40K challenge was happening. Just because there's so many of you guys that are in the 40K challenge. We're so proud of you guys for sticking that out. And so she didn't want to do anything that would draw your attention from 40K, just because 40K is very hard. It requires a lot of your time, and it requires you to be like fully in it. So that being said, probably on November 1st, if not within that first week of November, Brittany is going to do a 10-day hard. 10-day hard. And she's actually already talked to Paul Gravette about this. And he's like, heck yeah, like we should do that for the whole company at some point. So obviously whatever she's planning is like CEO approved and amazing. That 10-day hard will be a requirement for her retreat. Okay. Like if you don't do the 10-day hard, it doesn't matter if you qualify for the other things. You have to do the 10-day hard to qualify for the retreat. So have that on your radar and be mentally prepared for that, because it will be a requirement for the retreat. I will tell you guys, Brittany's retreat that I went to in Texas is the best retreat that I've been on since. And I've been to multiple. Brittany's retreat is the retreat that inspired me to do a retreat, which we will do another one next year. It was the retreat that really opened my eyes to what is possible in this business. I got to meet Lisa for the first time. I got to meet Chas for the first time. It really just made me go, whoa, there's a lot of things possible that I actually had no idea were even possible. It also grew me as a leader. Brittany is incredibly detail oriented, so everything is planned out for you to not only grow in yourself but grow in your business. It's just genuinely, it was one of, I would say it's like in my top 10 memories of my entire life. Like top 10 experiences of my entire life. One of the best things that I've ever done. So if Brittany is going even bigger this time, you need to be there. You need to be there. Whether if even if it's just for your mental health, like I mean, like business aside, like even if it's just for your mental health to go on this amazing vacation and be spoiled relentlessly by Brittany, you need to be there. You need to be there for your own self. You need to be there because your cup will literally, like, you're going to need to go buy 6 more cups because your cup is going to be overflowing that much. And all of the overflow from your cup, you're going to start handing it out to people on your team. You're going to be so fulfilled that you're going to have so much extra to share with everybody around you. So you need to be there. Uh Lifestyle getaway, but yeah, way more intimate and way more the relationships that you make at retreats are just so much deeper, and you just get insight into, other people's lives and what people are doing and what's working and what's not working, and it's just a good time. It's just a really good time. um but anyway, so be mentally prepared for that. Does anybody have anything for me? I'm sorry I have kept you guys. Well, I haven't kept you too late, but I know it's been a long day. We've had multiple calls, middle of the week. I get it. Zooms have been a lot today. But does anybody have anything for me before we hop off? You can unmute yourself or you can put it in the chat. Hopefully it'll let you unmute yourself. It wasn't letting you last week. Does anybody have anything?
So the event in Orlando, it'll be my first one ever. Do I need a ticket? Do I just show up? Like, how does that work?
Go find it on the Lavelle fan page. It should be listed under events on the fan page, and then click on it because it should be like its own individual event and it will let you know. Because I know Laura, what was it in Texas? Did you guys have to RSVP for it?
Repeat the question, please.
For the training that happened in Texas, did you guys have to buy tickets or just RSVP?
We did not. We literally just showed up. We did have to RSVP. Britt sent out a link to say, hey, how many people are coming?
So I would assume that it would be fairly similar, Geraldine, but I would go find the actual event on the Lavelle fan page. Also, if you guys go and look on the Lavelle fan page under events, it'll tell you all the other ones that are happening. I know there's another one coming up in Minnesota. There's one in New York. I don't know where the other ones are happening, but like you never know, one might pop up super close to you. So go and check and see if there's any locals, go and check and see if there's any trainings, all of that. Anything else? What do you mean, Laura? Losing rank is an ebb and flow? Was that a typo?
Oh yeah, I meant losing rank in an ebb and flow. Sorry, English teacher.
Yeah, that was actually on my list of things to talk about. Not to be a Debbie Downer. So you guys, losing rank happens, but at the same time, don't accept that. Like, get pissed. Like, don't accept that. I feel like, and this is probably one of those things where it was like, I just wanted to shake people that like had a rank and had a bonus and they lost it, and that happens. Like, you guys, I've lost rank. Like, it happens. It does in fact happen. But it was almost just kind of like, oh well. No, not oh well. It does happen, and you reflect on that and you deep breath, but you know, it's not oh well. You have to be able to look back on that objectively and be like, okay, what happened? Like, what happened? Why did it happen? Did I contribute to that? Because a lot of times, yes, you do. And if it still happens and you're able to look back at the end of the month and go, you know what? I fought tooth and nail for that. Like, I up until the last second. But I'll tell you what, the people who look at their charts today and accept defeat today, you got to reevaluate that mindset, because we got pretty much an entire week left. If you're looking at your chart today and you're saying, well, I guess I lost rank again, you better never let me catch you saying it, because I will come through the phone at you. Unacceptable. There, I mean, what, it's Tuesday and we have until Sunday? You guys, anything could happen. For all you know, I'm not saying this is going to happen, and do not come after me if it doesn't, but like, what if we had a BOGO for Halloween weekend? What if that happened? You better be busting your butt up until it happens, because that could change the game, right? But I'll tell you what, if you looked at your chart today and said, well, I guess I lost rank this month, you've already lost. You already lost it. It ain't even the end of the month, but you've already lost it. Promise. Promise. I'm a long ways off from my re-rank. I'm red-legged by Kenneth. And I'm nowhere near my 40K re-rank. And that's a big bonus, you guys. That's a lot of money that comes in every single month, and I ain't nowhere close to it. But I don't look at that chart and go, well, I guess I lost my rank. No, I look at that chart and go, I got to keep going. What can I do? I'm going to reach out to every single person that skipped an auto ship in the past 3 months. I'm going to reach out to every single person who paused an auto ship. I'm going to reach out to every single person who had a failed auto ship. I'm going to offer my customers incentives to order. I'm going to do all of those things up until the last flippin' minute. But at the end of the day, that's why I'm still here. That's why I'm still here. That tracker does not define whether I win or lose. My resiliency determines whether I win or lose. And I'm going to fight tooth and nail until the end, whether I get it or not. But you better believe that on October 31st at midnight, I'm going to be able to say, I busted my butt. And guess what? We get to do it again this month. November 1st, it all resets and we're going to do it again. But if you looked at that tracker at any point during this month and you thought, well, I guess I lost my rank again. Yep, you sure did. And the only reason is because you made that perception a reality. Change your mindset. Get a grip and go forth and fight for it. Because those are the things that separate winners from people who leave this business. Promise. At the end of the day, promise. Okay, let's end it on that. You guys have an amazing night. If you need anything else from me, just send me a direct message, private message me, or put it in the chats. Doesn't matter to me. We've got a lot of time left before the end of the month. Take a deep breath, dig deep, and reach out when you need help. Let's do this. Bye, guys.